what things do you need to make your own compost or worm tea? A bucket, unsulfured molasses, a fish aerator pump, air stones, but I want you guys to get the air stones that are about this big. What is that called? This one's an air pump. Oh, these are called bubbling air stones.
Air stones.
Air stones. For the fish. Just regular fish air stones. You guys can make your own bag or use a nylon. I'd rather you guys use nylon. This was just a bad example. I couldn't find a nylon in my house.
A nylon bag?
A nylon, like you can cut the nylon, the foot of the nylon.
Oh, okay.
Because that's where you're going to put
So you can't use knee highs then?
what's that? The knee highs. Okay. Okay, the first step. Because we live in Los Angeles, our water is filled with lots of minerals and harsh chemicals, and it has chlorine in it. The first thing you want to do is fill your 5-gallon bucket with water and let it sit for 24 to 48 hours in the sun. Okay? To dechlorinate the water. The next thing you want to do...
Could you use filtered water?
Not sure. I'm not sure. I'll look into it.
What if you
But you still would have
Write
to.
that down, Rosa? Or email it to me?
Yeah, my
Filtered
geography
water.
teacher said if you leave it out for 2 days and let the chlorine rise, you can drink it.
Beautiful. Okay. Now, let's say you're still too of a novice, you don't have a worm bin. So what do? You go and you buy worm castings. Okay? A bag like this will cost you, I think, $18. But it's going to last you for a very long time. Because you're only going to use a handful at a time.
No.
Worm castings is
the
worm
poop.
manure. Oh. Okay. And this one has more than worm manure. It has kelp and volcanic rock. Okay? Which is organic.
Yeah, they used to not have that in there, and then they started. Yeah, that's the only one they offered a year ago.
Yeah.
They pulled the manufacturer pulled everything else off the market.
Yeah. Okay. So once your water has dechlorinated for 24 to 48 hours, the next step you're going to do is put your pump, pretend that there's big stones here, put your pump inside of the water. You can get yourself one of these little mechanisms to attach the pump to the side of the bucket so that that won't be floating around like crazy. Okay. You plug it up and it starts aerating. Okay? There's 2 ways to do this. You can grab yourself a handful of castings and throw it in there, or grab your 1 handful of casting and throw it in your nylon or in your tea bag. Okay? You clip your nylon or your tea bag to the side of your 5-gallon bucket. The next step that you want to do is the unsulfured molasses.
That's the nutrition.
This is, you can eat this, yes. No, the nutrition for the bacteria. Yes. This is so that the microbacteria and the fungi can multiply faster in your aerator. You're feeding the microorganisms inside of the water. You want them to multiply faster. So you fill a cup full of molasses and you pour it into your 5-gallon bucket. Okay. You let this aerate for 24 to 48 hours. Okay.
It's still aerating.
It's still aerating.
Aerate for how long?
24 to 48 hours.
How much molasses?
1 capful.
1 cup.
1 cap. Let's say in 48 hours, you're ready to use your tea. Okay? This is your machine right here. Okay? You get your second bucket. You grab 1 cup full out of the aerated bucket. You pour the cup full in here. And you add water to this bucket. I skipped a step. Anybody catch me?
Yes.
Yes.
8 hours of sitting. Water
You have to
buckets.
you have to dechlorinate this water as well for 24 to 48 hours.
So that was water?
Yes.
So you could start at the same time.
So you can start the 2 batches at the same time. Okay? You put your cup of water in here. 1 cup. Only 1 cup. 8 ounces. If you want to go a little bit more, up to 16 ounces. No more than that. You pour 1 cup to 2 cups of worm tea in here. And this whole bucket is ready for you to fertilize your entire crops. But check this out. You got a whole nother bucket brewing at the same time. Okay?
Hold on. So you just diluted them.
So you're diluting this
You have a full 5
into
gallon
this.
of potent worm tea over there.
How long does this last?
This can last very long because you're aerating it. It's kind of like the compost. You're aerating it. The bacteria isn't not dying. It's not going anaerobic. It's aerobic because there's oxygen inside of the water. So this can last for very long. I've had my bin for about a year now.
You just
keep it on.
You keep it on. You keep it on.
Do you want to cover
To seal it?
Evaporate?
You can cover it. I wouldn't cover it because I want all the bacteria, the good beneficial bacteria, to go into my.
The water will not dissolve?
It'll evaporate, but you can add if you're dechlorinating water.
can add.
Yes, you can add.
Oh.
Now,
So how many times do you use this water for your garden? Like once a week, or it's every time you water you use that water?
okay. Let me remind me to answer that question. Let me go next step. Okay, how to use this? Because this is already diluted, right? 5 gallons of water to 2 cups of water. You can instantly use this. So what I do, I think this is a 3 gallon or more or less. Okay, if this were to fit in here, I dunk it, I bring it out, and then I will feed the soil with the tea. Okay, because it's very diluted, I can use this once a week. And that is why we were able to grow $450, I forget, $450 worth of produce within 4 months because of the liquid gold. Okay, because we're feeding soil here, we're not feeding plants. All of the microorganisms, the bacteria, the fungi, this is all beneficial. It's like you getting a pump of wheatgrass or a nice cup of beet juice with carrots and celery and parsley in it. That's what our bodies are asking for. So you're giving the soil what it needs. Plus you're pumping it up with more nutrition. Okay? Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes.
And I would add to that, like with everything, if you give it way too much, you'll notice that in your plants, or it's too much of anything, it's not good, you know?
Exactly.
So just be careful with it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
because you want the
if
plant
you
to grow at its
notice,
natural rate too.
for you guys, I would start doing this twice a week or once a month. Okay?
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Oh, every 2 weeks.
Adding beneficial bacteria
Into
the
your
soil,
soils.
which is nutrients that the plants live in.
Once
Exactly.
every 2 weeks.
So it is feeding the plant
Yeah,
directly.
Once a week. Every other
Exactly.
week.
She's got it. You're indirectly feeding the plant by feeding the soil first. Yes, Laura?
Is there ever a reason to put worm tea diluted onto the foliage?
Good question. When to add, you can foliar feed your plants as well. I would only do it twice a month.
So the
Every
same.
other week.
Every other week. You could, if you're going to do twice a month, you can foliar feed your plants or feed your soil.
So you can put it on top of the plant.
You can put it on top of the plant because this is like their food. So you want to feed them as well, and you can feed their leaves as well. Okay? The feeding of worm tea is not the same as watering. The feeding of worm tea, you want to do it in the evening before the sun sets. Why? Because in the evening, the plants, the leaves, they absorb the moisture in the air. So you foliar feed in the evening so that when they're ready to drink that water from the leaves, they're going to be absorbing the worm tea, the food, from their leaves. Okay? Now, going back to watering, if it's not worm tea and you're just watering, you only water the leaves twice a month. We're going to get into that in irrigation. Okay? The reason why is because in the summertime, we're very humid here. And when we water the leaves and they don't dry off completely, fungi begins to develop on the leaves. And that's why we have a lot of white mildew on our squashes and some mildew on a lot of our cucurbits, which are cucumbers, melons, and all that stuff, squashes. Okay?
When you said we're very humid here, where is here?
Here in Southern California, we're dry humid, like a humid dry.